Right, good morning everybody. It's your boy Keenan. Welcome to today's vlog. Now we have three major conference championships that will be played today. So I'm going to give you three quick previews. For this preview, you need to talk about the SEC championship, which is going to be played at 4 o'clock between number 2 Alabama and number 3 Georgia. I'm going to start things off with Georgia, led by quarterback Aaron Murray, who's having a great year throwing the football, who's actually leading the nation in passing efficiency. He has 30 touchdowns and 7 interceptions to go along with over 3,200 yards passing, and this offense is pretty great, averaging 38 points per game. Now, Aaron Murray has a lot of weapons around him, and he's actually been utilizing everything that he has. Two great freshman running backs in Keith Marshall and Todd Gurley. Both these two players have combined for 22 rushing touchdowns and just over 1,800 yards rushing combined. These two are great freshman running backs, and they average 6.5 yards per carry. Now, he also has a couple of receivers, some targets that he has thrown the football to, like Malcolm Mitchell and Tavares King. These two are great receivers, and I'm really surprised how well this offense has performed this season with two incoming freshman running backs, and also they have a couple other receivers that they're looking to depend on in the future, like Marlon Brown. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries, and even without him, they still had a great year. Also, Michael Bennett, in which Coach Mark Ripp has a lot of high hopes on this kid. He has over 300 yards receiving this season. Now, on the defensive side, this defense averages 17.7 points per game, and they're led by great pass rusher Jarvis James. He has 10 sacks this season. He had double-digit sacks last year, leading the nation, one of the top sack leaders last year in the nation. Also, they have a good defensive back in Bakari Rambo. He missed the first 4 games of the season, but since he started, he is actually leading the team in interceptions with 3, and he's also a great run support player. He actually gets a lot of tackles this season. Now, I'm going to head over to the Alabama Crimson Tide. They have a great offense as well, 39 points per game, and they're led by a smart, intelligent quarterback in A.J. McCarron. He is actually second in the nation in passing efficiency, just behind Aaron Murray, 2,500 yards passing and 25 touchdowns. Now, he has a couple of good running backs behind him as well, and freshman T.J. Yeldon and junior Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy has over 1,000 yards rushing with 1,001, 6.1 yards per carry, and 14 touchdowns, while freshman Yeldon has 847 yards rushing and 10 scores. Now, his leading target at the receiver position is Amari Cooper, 667 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. And this quarterback, A.J. McCarron, is actually a Heisman hopeful. He can get a nod to New York depending on his performance in this game. He has an MVP-like game. He could probably make it to New York. He's an intelligent quarterback, and he manages this offense pretty well, especially having such a great defense. He understands his role as a quarterback and understands he doesn't need to do spectacular plays, just need to make smart plays, and this kid is a smart quarterback. Now, on the defensive side, they actually have the #1 team in points allowed with 9.3, led by a lot of great players. They have a lot of great players around him, like C.J. Mosley, 92 tackles, a couple of interceptions, and 4 sacks this season. Also, they have an outstanding secondary in D. Milliner and Robert Lester, and also Hashawn Clinton-Dix. Both these two players have combined for 7 interceptions, and they are capable of creating turnovers, and this is going to be key for the Alabama Crimson Tide. They just need to keep doing well and actually get to quarterback Aaron Murray. They need to have some good pass rushers in this matchup. Now, the battle in this game is really all just like most other SEC games, it's all in the offensive line versus the defensive line. And offensively, I think the lineman for the Crimson offensive line for the Crimson Tide has the best offensive line in the country. These guys play very physical, and this is why Eddie Lacy and T.J. Yeldon has been doing so well running the football effectively. Now, this is going to be key for Georgia. They're going to have to do well. They're going to have to need more support for Jarvis James and getting to quarterback A.J. McCarron and stopping the run, which means Garrison Smith, Ray Drew, whoever's in that rotation in the line on the defensive line for Georgia, they're going to have to perform a lot better and help support Jarvis James and get to the quarterback. Also, they need to tear. One thing they need to do offensively for Georgia, they need to tear Alabama apart. That secondary apart in particular, which means Aaron Murray needs to understand his reads. And speaking of reads, the running backs for Georgia, this is another on what they need to do to win this game for Georgia. They need to understand, the running backs for Georgia need to understand how to make their reads and understand that they're not going to average 6.5 yards per carry. These two are great, spectacular freshmen, and they know that things have been going their way, except for that game against South Carolina. They had, and part of the reason why that they lost against South Carolina is because they were unable to understand their reads in running the football. There were a couple of holes that were wide open, but they just didn't see it. They need to be a little bit more disciplined in this game, and they were a lot disciplined coming after the South Carolina game, but they're playing against a tough Alabama defense, so they're going to have to pound the rock very hard and understand that they're not going to get 6.5 yards per carry. They're going to have to run the ball effectively, hold on to the rock, do not commit any turnovers, and they should be just fine competing against this Alabama Crimson Tide team. Now, this is going to be a spectacular performance between these two teams, and this is going to be a great game. For this game, I got to go with Alabama because that defense is going to do, I believe that their defense is going to do good enough to make it to the national championship. The winner of this game will most likely play Notre Dame for the BCS title game, and I think that Alabama is going to beat Georgia, but Georgia can pull this upset. I just think that there's too much towards Alabama. They have a smart quarterback in A.J. McCarron, and that defense is just a little bit more crisp than Georgia. So I'm going to have to go with the Crimson Tide over the Georgia Bulldogs. This is going to be an outstanding game to watch at 4 o'clock. Now, I'm going to catch you guys a little bit later. I'm going to do two more videos talking about the Big Ten Championship as well as the ACC Championship. Thank you for watching this vlog from Franchise Sports Talk. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.